Hello, and welcome to No Format, the last line of defense against the encroaching darkness. I'm your host, Aaron, and today I'll be talking to the velvet underground of metal, Las Vegas' own Headgore, the band that not only refuses to be defined, but beat me up because I asked about it. Today's episode has been brought to you by the slavering hordes of insects currently blackening the sky, growing ever closer on the horizon. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining us today, and please remember, the snake people are real.
Someone here knew me. I'd see through your cynicism. I am invincible, I no longer care. I'm not done to the world, I'm zeitgeist.
We are here today on No Format with Headgore. Would you please state, for the record, your names and your crimes against humanity?
I am Menthol Jewel / Irene Menthol. I guess I would say I would be the main vocalist. I do most of the noise elements, and now starting to do some of the drum programming. That's about it.
I'm Marcos. I also go by Skin Jockey online. I play guitar in Headgore, and for a while when we didn't have a drummer, I was recording, playing drums and stuff. Yeah.
I'm Zach. I go by Jehu online. I play bass. I used to play rhythm, but I do most of the post-production and mixing and the recording. That's me.
Do we have a drummer there today?
No, we've had a couple drummers. We have a new one right now, but she's working today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've blown through like at least 9 or so members to get to this point. And we just enlisted a new live drummer, finally.
I think with the kind of music that you guys make, it might be a little challenging to find regular members.
Oh yeah. Zach wasn't even here for it, but one of my favorite things is before we played our very, very, very first gig as Headgore, we had this dude named Tim that we were playing guitar with, and we like the very first rehearsal with him, like he couldn't even understand like the idea of doing like improvisational like noisecore because he kept trying to play like actual like structured and notes and like arpeggios and shit, and he literally like decided not even to play the show with us because he was like, bruh, I don't know how to do this. This seems disrespectful. We don't even have anything planned out. Like, these people are expecting, like, a show, and we're just going to sit there and fuck off on stage. And it's like, yeah, dude.
Ironically, that was probably a very, like, the exact opposite reaction that we got. Everyone loved us.
Yeah.
Like, we got on stage, and I started stepping on my guitar and rubbing the strings with a fucking butter knife. Everyone was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, like people really overestimate how much people dig just overall weirdness and just a willingness to just do dumb shit on stage, you know?
So is any of that sort of calculated at all, or is it just happens in the spur of the moment? Is there anything that you like plan out ahead of time where you're like, oh, this would be really funny to do in front of a group of people?
Maybe a few things. I remember there was a show where we opened for Bro Job where Irene was running around with a belt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, we just kind of go ham on stage and just try not to hurt each other. Really.
Yeah, we kind of do think out things a little bit to a degree. We've kind of started thinking out things a lot more. But like I remember our first show with Zach, like. We didn't have any songs written. Literally, all it was is we were just like...
There's no drummer either.
Yeah, we didn't have a drummer either.
Yeah.
Our drummer didn't even fucking show up. Like, so we literally, all we did was just it was just kind of just timed chaos. Literally, I'd swing my arm and then we'd all just go nuts. And then I'd swing my arm and we'd stop.
It was basically power violence without drums.
Yeah.
Because that was back when Zach was still doing rhythm guitar.
Yeah, rhythm.
Yeah, rhythm. I was lead, you were rhythm.
Noise wall rhythm.
Yeah.
That's the rhythm.
Did you have to take a long time to figure out who was going to play the lead noise and who was going to play the rhythm noise?
Oh, it was pretty, we knew without saying anything. There was nothing to be said, really.
We would switch mid-set and we didn't even know it.
Yeah.
So how long have you had this particular lineup for?
I think because we met Zach when we opened for Rasuke Kiyasu of Set of Starcept. That was like July 2019. So we've had this lineup now for at least a solid year and a half.
Yeah.
Long enough that it's the core lineup.
Almost 2 years.
Because honestly, Zach is what really helped us define our sound. Because beforehand, it was just we didn't have post-production beforehand. Our first recordings is just me going to fucking studio with a mic and telling people to go, hey, record it. And then I slapped it together in Audacity. And then we met Zach, and Zach's like, can I help you mix this and make it sound, decent?
Can we record this in a proper way, please?
So yeah, Zach really helped us figure out how to take sound seriously and really figure out how to make things sound good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have too much of that much information as I do now, but when we started, I had I think just the willingness.
Yeah.
I had the urge.
Yeah.
All I really had was an old Apple laptop and a torrented copy of Logic. That's what I really had.
Yeah. And he's just I want to learn this. I'll do it as we go.
So there's definitely a weird evolution in the releases.
Yeah.
Where the stuff we haven't released now almost sounds like incredible.
Yeah. Like a different band at that.
Yeah, it's different as fuck.
I mean, I've heard some of the stuff that Irene has sent me, and it definitely it sounds alien in a way from what you were doing, but I think it still sounds very rooted in that original ethos of just taking a shit on stage in some ways.
Yeah, because I think we have a distinct style that we stick to. So think when you structure it, it sounds cooler.
Yeah, it's weird hearing noisecore restrained,
Yeah.
but still noisecore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting writing process lately.
Yeah, because my mind is still in that mind space of like just going nuts and not really having a plan.
Yeah.
And to like wrangle that into like a riff or a structure of a song is very interesting. I like it. I think it's fun.
Do you think it's kind of improved what you're doing in a way? That it's kind of made you want to like move into other fields of music as well?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I really want to make quieter music.
Yeah, because like when we started, we were technically a fucking grindcore band, and now we're just like we want to just kind of like be like a weird like noise rock band that has core elements in it.
Yeah.
Like I think Marcos and Zach definitely defined the sound best when they both described it as a noise, not noisecore, but a no core. Because I've kind of took that as like basically like no wave era inspired like hardcore music, where it has like still breakdowns and like all the fucking blast beats every now and then, but it still has that no wave element.
Yeah.
Or even like a post-ironic noise rock element.
Yeah, I've definitely heard a lot of that on like what you're doing. There's definitely a lot more of that no wave sort of stuff influence creeping through in a way. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It sounds similar to some things, but in some ways it just sounds completely unique in others, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to say without actually like putting it on and explaining it to people.
Yeah, that's the thing about our music is like when I tell people that I'm in a band, they always ask what kind of music I write, and I can't really describe the genre. I can just explain the feeling, and I'm like, it's pretty angry.
Yeah.
It's pretty isolating.
Yeah,
like,
I describe it as very bitter.
Yeah, very bitter.
Yeah.
Like how do I describe the sound? I don't know. I can't tell them these very unique genres. Oh, it's like no wave with grindcore elements. So, like, just be like, who are you?
I just am in a metal band.
At that point, yeah, I pretty much just do that too.
So
Yeah. I mean, you could just, when in doubt, just say you play rock music,
Yeah. I think it's funnier to just say that we play rock music and then just slap them with some of the most outsider fucking like noise core you've ever heard.
I'm in an indie pop band.
Yeah. We play pop rock.
Yeah, just a little pop rock. We're gonna play a little John Mayer for you guys today.
Yeah, we're like cherubs. It's pop music.
Yeah, totally. Pop music for dirtbags.
Loud music for loud people.
So do you think living where you live, if I can be so bold as to say the area of Las Vegas, you think living where you live has any effect on the kind of music that you're putting out there?
No.
Maybe for the people here, maybe locally, because people here don't really see a lot of bands like that. But like on a global scale, nah. No one really looks at like Vegas bands to see what's really hot and new,
Yeah, that's true. Vegas doesn't really have a huge like mainstay in culture in that kind of sense. Like, there isn't a whole lot of famous people out from here, so it's like
No.
I could kind of say maybe like the Vegas culture kind of like my disdain for it kind of like comes through maybe in our more recent writings, just because it's like such our more recent albums more anti-commercial and shit like that. But I don't want to give Vegas that much credit.
Because like David Yao didn't even start popping off until he left.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like fuck.
Most of the famous people that I know that I really enjoy that were from Vegas, like you said, didn't become famous until they fucking left the place.
Yeah. You can't really do shit.
Yeah.
No bands come out here.
Yeah.
No promoters are looking here.
Yeah. It's a weird dichotomy where it's like in the media and culture, Vegas has always seemed like the entertainment capital, but it's like, unless you are a top 40 artist, there is not much here for you. And that's not to talk shit on the scene. Like, it tries its hardest to fucking exist, but it's a fucking battlefield.
It's a retirement community.
It's a fucking uphill battle.
Yeah, it's a very uphill battle.
Well, I think that has to do with the history of the town itself. It's just like people go to the Strip and they don't really engage with anywhere else. And this is just speaking as someone who is tangentially familiar with Las Vegas. And the reason why I brought it up is because it's so weird that a band like Headgore just like sprung out of that. Not sprung out of it, but, you know, it's almost like it had to happen because there was nothing like that before there. And there's like a void in a way.
Well, I would say that the environment kind of inspires the music. It's sort of a brutal environment out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very desert industrial.
Yeah, I would say there are little minute ways where it does inspire us a little bit.
Yeah.
But I will give a quick little bit of a shout out to a little local friend that used to be from here, because they did make the fucking typical move to another state. I would say the only other band that's kind of like the same ilk as us would be like Spring Breeding, was a fucking Vegas local for a while, but then they also upped and moved to fucking Texas, like, you know, other bands would do. But they were probably like the most other kind of the ilk.
Yeah,
they did definitely inspired me too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we aren't the only band to kind of exist within the spectrum of Vegas, because there's a lot of different noise acts that have been pretty prominent around here. But the issue is just they dip. Like they stopped. They didn't care anymore, and they lost passion. And
it's just, you have to be like, that's one of the reasons why I try to be so like vocally online. It's just because like so many, like, it's very easy to try and push a really weird project and then get really like what's the word? I don't know. Disheartened. And just kind of give up, because it's like, if you're just a one-man noise project, like, no fucking bar cares to talk to you. If you're a one-person solo cyber grind project, you're too fucking weird for anyone to really give a shit. That's one of the reasons why I kind of started this band and kind of marketed it a little differently. Even though we are really kind of still the same music, I like marketing us up as a full, you know, metal band, because that's the only way I could get bars to even give a shit. You know?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think I've heard that same sort of story from a lot of bands. You know, you have to kind of, in some ways, market yourself in a way that isn't necessarily in tune with what you're doing, just so you can have a foot in the door.
Oh yeah, big time.
So have you guys have your own following out there in Las Vegas? I'm assuming, like, you have that one guy.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, we had a little bit. We started, I mean, before COVID happened, there were shows where we were getting booked and people were like, I specifically came here to see you.
Yeah.
So that started happening.
Yeah. The ball was definitely starting to roll a little bit for us. We got a couple pretty like name gigs that were going to happen, but then obviously COVID's kicked us in the ass.
Yeah, I saw that there was I was looking for you guys on the internet. There was some kind of I can't remember what band it was. It was a pretty sizable group though that you were opening for.
So are you talking about the Crowbar show?
I think that might have been it.
Yeah, because that was the biggest gig that we had.
Yep.
That was gonna be at Fremont Street, which is like, holy shit.
Whenever I told people that we were opening for Crowbar, I mean, you know, I've heard of them. I never listened to their music.
Yeah.
But every time I told people that, they would fucking shit their pants. It was like as if I told them that we were opening for Metallica.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Well, like, Crowbar is still playing Psycho Vegas, I think, too, which is the insane thing.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the biggest metal festival out here.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is a sizable gig to have gotten. Did you find the response was pretty positive towards you guys on that slot?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of people that were just like, "Wow, guys, that's impressive."
Yeah, for the people that knew us, they were really happy for us. But for the people that hadn't heard us, I mean, they would have had to have gone and see us live.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the thing that started getting us pulled was the fact that we were so nutty. Well, at least most of us were nutty.
Mm-hmm.
We would just dress up really weird and do stupid shit with our guitars and, play noise fucking pedals and shit. And, that was what kind of, I think, got some of the pull.
Yeah.
And then people were like, okay. And then we started actually writing stuff that's more structured. And then they were like, oh, this actually is kind of like cool to listen to also.
Yeah, it's almost like a bait and switch, basically. It's like make people think that we just don't know what the fuck we're doing, and then just start writing songs with still that weird and hella broken ass aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely throwing people off, I think.
Yeah, but I think it's actually working out for you really well, because I'd heard your music originally, I can't remember, like a year or two ago, and I was like, this is like in such a direction that it's like almost there, where I think it would be like just like 100% perfect for like what it's doing. So it's been really interesting to see how you guys have kind of changed in just that short period of time that I've like been talking to you. It's pretty weird in some ways, and I think it's really cool. I am looking forward to checking out the record when it comes out, and bragging about it on fucking Facebook or wherever.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're excited to put it out. Like, the whole writing process has been very, very just fun. Like, coming home and writing shit and just deciding that that's not good, and then writing another thing and deciding that we could work with that, and actually putting thought into actually writing music has been very, very fun and great. So I really hope that comes across.
Yeah.
Mixing can be really satisfying. Feels good.
Yeah.
When the kick like clicks in your face.
Yeah. When the kick be hitting right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's actually it's sounding really interesting. But speaking of releasing music, so I also wanted to talk about the whole Bandcamp shadow bans that have been happening.
Yeah, it's pretty lame
That
how
happened
that
a while
worked out.
ago.
Yeah, it happened a while ago, and I have to take some credit for it being kind of my fault for not acting soon enough to hit up Bandcamp to try and get the unshadow ban, because apparently it was really easy at the time when it happened to just be like, yo, I'm not a shitty ass gore grind band that just posts human suffering for fun. But like
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
Well, let's start from the beginning, because I never actually heard the story of how it happened to you. So what went down there? What was the origin of that?
So the thing that kind of killed us at first is technically when we started this band, we were gore grind.
Experimental gore noise.
Yeah, experimental gore noise.
So we tagged ourselves with gore all over the place. So I guess the whole thing was that Bandcamp was getting a lot of complaints that a lot of these gore grind, gore noise bands were posting actual, literal, just unedited, real life gore.
Which they were.
Then they were.
Like,
I saw it. I saw the shit.
Yeah.
So like,
I like a lot of these gore grind bands too. Like, I won't even like be pissed at them. They'll take credit for it.
Yeah. But the whole thing was that I guess they were getting too many emails about it, so they decided to just shadow ban all the bands that had like that tag, gore noise, gore grind, and we had all of those tags. And so people were pretty pissed about it, and then they made a statement explaining all of that.
Because I honestly had no idea that. I've been on Bandcamp since 2009, and I've never personally run into that issue. So it was really bizarre to me to hear about that happening. It was actually really it kind of pissed me off when I heard about that.
Yeah, it made me a little mad, but then I don't know. I've never personally looked for music through Bandcamp. I've always just used it to find things I already knew about.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, even though we have been shadow banned since like basically the existence of our band,
Yeah,
I don't
not
think it's
very long.
really ever hurt us because we do so much fucking promotion online anyways. Like we still sell a decent, well, we don't really sell a decent amount, but we get a decent amount of like follows and listens for being a shadow band.
Yeah, we
Like,
at least,
Nobody searches a band through Bandcamp. You just Google it and then you see the Bandcamp.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing is like we push enough that fucking link and we show up on the Google results anyways.
Mhm.
That the
Doesn't
only
matter.
way that it hurts us is if you're one of those people that goes on Bandcamp and uses the Bandcamp search function to look us up.
Yeah.
I mean,
And even then, if you search, we have music through other like means, so we still come up.
Yeah,
Like,
still every single thing that shows up is still all of our music, just on other people's pages.
yeah.
Because we do splits with people and shit.
Yeah, we have splits, and then we were technically on a couple of comps. We got released through Placenta Recording, so it's like it didn't work that well to fucking make us not exist.
Yeah,
They tried.
It's just a cool story.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's almost kind of like cred almost. You'd be like,
Yeah, we're shadow band.
you can't find us on fucking Bandcamp. You have to click this link.
but is there a concern for you guys where, you know, suddenly the switch turns on Google and suddenly Google decides, oh, we're not gonna push any more gore grind bands? Do you ever have a concern like that happening?
no, because we have no intention to ever be gore grind anymore. And I hopefully, because my main thing was like, yeah, our main Bandcamp shadow band, but like with this next album and a few other releases, like I'm basically just trying to like go around the shadow band and just like try to get some actual like label release just to see if like other people sharing us will get a little bit more attention, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't really. I'm not too worried. Hopefully we can get enough fucking like attention through other means that like it won't even matter that we're shadow banned.
Yeah. Well, that's
Because,
good.
like we said, up until now, it's really hasn't really affected us that much to begin with.
Well, that's good. Because I was watching this short film about this guy talking about how he was shadow banned for, I can't remember what the hashtag was, but Truther Wave. That's what it was. Hashtag Truther Wave. All of his music was like very fueled by conspiracy theory.
Oh no!
Like he's one of those dudes who's like deep into Nibiru and that sort of shit. So he created his own hashtag Truther Wave, and it got shadow banned on Bandcamp. So just a word of advice if you were thinking about registering your band as Truther Wave, it's shadow banned.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Got it.
Loud and clear.
Next album's gonna be called Truth or Way. Just spelled really fucked up.
So other than the new album that's coming out, which is due when?
We don't really have a due date because that's the thing is like
When it's done.
we're gonna finish it and we're gonna shop it out to a couple labels and see as soon as we can get out. I know for sure if no one else, I know for 100% sure I want to try to put out for Big Money Cybergrind just because even though they just started as a label, they have definitely the right like foot forward with how they're doing their promotion and shit.
Yeah, fucking shout out to Big Money Cybergrind. That seems like a very pretty good fit, I think, eventually.
Yeah. If not this album, if another for release in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Another shout out too is I won't tell you the release we're going to drop through them, but we have another release that's going to come out. This actually has a release date. It's going to come out through October through Dough Girl Tapes. I'm very excited to put out for them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dough Girl has shown me basically a lot of my favorite music, period. a lot of my just biggest inspirations, like Glass Spitter, Voiddweller.
Shut Up Trinity.
Shout out to Trinity of Girl, obviously.
Fucking Yam Lin,
Ellie Void,
yeah.
Seal Electronics. She makes some of the coolest fucking circuit bent noise shit on Earth. Zoe. Zoe Noise.
Zoe Noise, yeah.
And like I said, one of my favorite artists is obviously Glass Spitter on Dough Girl. Severed Head of the Pervert's probably one of my favorite albums, period.
But
If you guys want to send me links to those, I'll throw those in the video description.
100%.
It's important to support the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we got a couple of releases in the works, actually. Like, we have one split, the split that's going to come out for Dough Girl, that's we basically have done, written, just needs to be fucking mixed.
yeah,
We have another split that's we haven't even found the label for it yet, that's going to come out with another cool grind band.
yeah. I've got a concept album in the works for a split for a pretty good band. Pretty good, very good. Hell, on the fucking level. They on the level.
Yeah.
we got a lot of stuff planned, but we don't really have like exact dates except for the one in October.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we can get the main full-length album done by like December, winter, for a winter release, and then hopefully get a label to agree to get like at least within a couple months of talking to agree to get like a drop of that. Just because I would just hate to have something done and then just sit there and fucking sit on it for years, basically. Because like we'll be doing enough of our own promotion that I feel like no label's gonna have to feel pressure to have to do a fucking year-run cycle on it. But especially if we go for big money cyber grind, would love to do that. Probably end up just going for them, to be honest.
You try waiting out for the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
Because like the end of the
2022.
year. Yeah, because the end of the year, I feel like people don't really pay attention to music releases.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like that better off for us, anyways.
It's I think it's because Christmas is around then and Thanksgiving. There's so many holidays.
Yeah, no one's really giving a shit to listen to anything.
Yeah, everyone's doing.
People are gonna be so excited to see their families too this Christmas. Like,
oh yeah. No one's gonna be.
It's gonna be hard to pay attention to anything else.
Yeah, I just know that when things really start to open, it's going to be just severely oversaturated with shows, albums. Everybody's going to be dropping something.
It's going to be a good time. Like any band that took the top opportunity during this pandemic to write, it's really going to pay off because so many people are just going to be just excited to see things in general.
Yeah, I know I'm looking forward to it. It should be another year or two before we get a show around here.
Yeah.
So have you guys got anything, with the pandemic easing off, with everybody getting their vaccinations, do you guys have anything planned with regards to shows? Have you been in talks with anyone? Got anything on the go in that field?
There's shows going on in Vegas, but we're kind of just chilling and waiting it out because realistically, even if we want to do a show right now, we do not rehearse and plan for it.
We're not practiced up yet. Yeah. Because
So-
we actually have songs now to practice.
Yeah.
We've got a whole bunch of albums worth of music to actually practice and play now. So we actually would have to actually get better and shit before we even realistically would want to play a show.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not seeking out anything right now.
Yeah, we're kind of just still chilling on the back burner, letting other people just have their fun. We'll probably make a comeback hopefully around that August, October time. The Psycho Fest is coming in October, and I'm looking and seeing if everything goes fine by then, I want to try to go to that.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be a bunch of scene shows around the date that people do that can't afford to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I want to play one of those.
All the South by Southwest shows that happen around South by Southwest.
Yeah.
The pop-up shows.
Yeah.
Because hopefully by then the vaccination numbers will be much, much better. I'm not going to sit there and demonize all the people that are doing shit right now, but we're just going to wait till we're personally comfortable.
Yeah.
And ready, obviously.
Oh yeah, I definitely. I'm still waiting to get my first shot because.
Damn.
Yeah, well, Canada's just short of vaccines. I don't want to go into it. I talked about it too much on the last episode. But yeah, I know I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure everybody's looking forward to seeing Headgore again. What else? So we talked about the shadow banning music. Do we have any questions from the Discord?
Let me check real fast.
I don't think so.
No, they just Big Money Cyber Grind saying to shout them out. Which I was already intending to do that too.
Our last level of interaction is
in a visceral state. You're cute, he said. He promised to me. 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 You're cute, he said. He promised to me.
wait a minute. Okay. Look how hard I tried. What's the problem? It's an excuse, yeah. A big problem with trying.
It's on. Let's go back to the band's origins a little bit. So you started out as like this gore grind band. Were you guys just kind of doing that to kind of antagonize the audience in a sense?
Well, here's the funny thing. We didn't even start as a gore grind band. Like, the real, like, if you wanted to go back to the 100% origins of this band started as a fucking joke working at Hot Topic between me and a dude that's not even in the band anymore, who was actually my manager at Hot Topic. He was the drummer, and then one of our other employees there was the guitarist. And it was basically started as a joke, like, what if some Hot Topic employees started a band that would never fucking fly at Hot Topic? And our first recording was just basically just a noisecore rehearsal. Like, it had no gore grind or nothing. And I just at the time, I was just a much bigger fan of grindcore and gore grind, so it was just the way I wanted to go down. Marcos had a fucking little pedal that I learned how to pitch shifter on, and I was just like, fuck it, let's go for it.
Yeah, we just pitched our vocals down and recorded a whole gore grind album in like a night.
Oh yeah, there was the one time we recorded a gore grind EP in one whole ass night.
Yeah, we just recorded all the instrumentals while everyone was asleep, and then when everyone woke up, we recorded the vocals, and we uploaded it that following afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, it's kind of funny when I like think about the origins of this band, because like whenever I look up some of my favorite bands, most of them also just kind of started out as jokes that ended up being like serious after a while. Because like even the original name of this band wasn't even Headgore. We had some fucking stupid ass long name. It was Greta Van Fleetwood Macklemorrissey. And it's just a straight up joke noisecore band. That's why like our email references Greta Van Fleet still.
I mean, that's funny. Like, when did Greta Van Fleet put out their first album?
It was like 2 years ago. Yeah, they're not even a relevant band anymore.
No, they just dropped their new album.
Old joke at this point.
They just dropped a new album, and boomers like it.
What? Did they get shadow banned? I didn't even hear about that. I didn't even know. Wow.
I
Yeah,
think I think everyone's just looking forward to something else. So it's like, you know, they're. I think rock dudes are into it. That's about it.
Yeah, this band's origin's really funny because like it was basically started as my joke side project to my more serious project, which was dumbass fucking melodramatic cyber grind project that I was doing at the time that was going fucking nowhere fast because I was working on an album for that for like 2 years and I never even laid down vocals for it. And then I started this joke noisecore band. And I was like, well, this is really easy to do. Let's just keep doing this. And after a while, Marcos hopped on. And then we played our third show opening for Kasu. And we met this dude. And this dude put his fucking post-production motivations into it. And now we're here.
Yeah, we met you at a show that we played. Was that the Ryosuke show?
Yep.
Yeah, the Ryosuke Kiyasu show. Holy shit.
Which is awesome because that's to this day is probably one of the only shows where I got to open for an artist that I'd not only heard of before, but also one that I really liked.
Yeah.
Because Ryosuke Kasu, I'm probably mispronouncing it. I apologize. Whatever. But one of my huge inspiration from not just Zeta Starset, but him as just a solo abstract noise artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, doesn't he just
he's the snare
he just
guy.
plays a snare, but like he just hits it around.
Yeah.
That guy who just
not even that, but he busks too. He doesn't even try to get officially booked all the time. He'll just straight up play street shows and wait for people to record him and go viral like that. Shit like that is very inspirational to me. Just that DIY hit the fucking street kind of shit, Because just the other day we finally got our Headgore stickers printed. And I made the Hot Topic joke go full fucking circle. I dumped a bunch of stickers in their sticker section, put it up there. Just shit like that just really inspires me,
Yeah.
That's guerrilla. That's guerrilla tactics.
Yeah, that's beyond DIY. That is straight guerrilla warfare.
I think with the kind of band that you guys have, you kind of have to do that in a way. Because you have
to force your way into the conversation, basically.
Yeah. And I think I think it's been pretty effective for you guys in some ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a whole lot of attention, but for what we're doing, the ball is rolling.
Yeah, like I said, before the pandemic, people were actually recognizing us and showing up and being like, "Yo, come to this place because of Headgore."
Yeah.
That was weird. Yeah, that was weird to us.
And, soon enough, people will stop comparing you to Anal Cunt.
Yeah, I think so.
I think with this...
If only you were better!
Yeah.
They do compare us to Anal Cunt. They say we're worse. Yeah. Every time.
That was the worst part is that, everyone's like, no one does that. It's like, no. We played one show. We played a couple shows, especially when we did our little bit more legit shows. I can't remember the name of the band, but there was this big band that touring that we opened for, and their guitarist was like, "You ever heard of Anal Cunt?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Was it Road Job?
No, I think it was Monochromatic Black.
Oh God.
Yeah, Monochromatic. The dude from Monochromatic Black was like, "You ever heard of Anal Cunt?" I was like, "Yeah." And it's like, bro, not just because some motherfucker rolled around on the ground doesn't mean we're inspired by one of the worst bands to ever exist.
I also don't understand what the fuck is happening on stage. You're like that other band that I don't understand what happens when they get on stage.
Yeah.
So do you get a lot of that response from the audience as well, other than that?
Yeah, getting compared to Anal Cunt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened mostly at live shows. It wasn't online because we didn't have a huge online following until we dropped that fucking bomb of a fucking release.
Yeah, no one really cared about us online until we started going out of our way in grindcore groups to be like, yeah, this guy sucks. Because then people always piss their fucking pants. It was like, oh, and then they listen to it and they're like, this is not as good, but 4 or 5 people are like, this is actually pretty lit. I vibe with this.
See, that's funny to me. I'm like, in some ways, you're trying to, some people are telling you that you're not as good as the Anal Cunt, where it's like, well, Anal Cunt just kind of shit their pants all the time,
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
They weren't trying to be good.
You're not as good as the least good band.
Like,
Cool.
oh, great,
Right on.
thanks. Thanks. I'm glad.
Yeah, it's just kind of odd to me that people. I think people just would reflexively say that because, they have an emotional attachment to anal cunt for some reason.
Yeah. That's the thing is, like, a lot of the grindcore, I think a lot of the, especially the people that get mad, is just because they're fucking old as fuck, and they're like, fucking Seth told them that he was, oh, it's just all a joke once at a show, and they just really fucking bought it. And it's like, bro, just fucking pay attention.
He was so nice.
Oh, he was nice to me once. He gave me a bump of coke at a show.
I was 12, and he let me drink his beer, and then
Seth gave me my first bump of coke and a beer at a show, and told me that you should be racist too, and you'll be famous.
and then he laughed like he was joking, so I assume he was joking.
It's like, fuck off.
You
okay.
suck. You're the ones that suck.
I think they've had a bit of a critical reanalysis though since he passed away, and he's no longer around to bully people into liking him.
Yeah.
I saw I think it was Ethan from Primitive Man just taking a massive shit on Seth Putnam, which I was like, oh, we can do this now.
I love Ethan so much. Primitive Man, Vermin Womb. And I know he has some noise projects because I follow him on Instagram. All of his shit. Definitely a huge inspiration to me, too. Yeah. I remember seeing Ethan play fucking Primitive Man live, and his fucking stage presence was just like so gnarly because his entire time he was just screaming to God.
Yeah, he was
just
looking up at
90-degree angle up.
This big giant monster. I remember I never really liked slow, sludgy, doomy, sleep type bands, but like Primitive Man, seeing them live, really changed me for that kind of like music. Like now I really have a deep respect for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, same here. I usually don't like fucking slow for slow sakes music, but Primitive Man touches it just right.
Yeah, they get really down in the trenches. It's very visceral live.
Yeah, I think you can also hear that on their records as well. It's just like,
oh yeah,
it does not sound like any normal sludge band.
They're good.
Maybe it's comparable to The Body in some way, but it's just so like. I think it's very noise influenced in some ways.
Oh yeah, heavily. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he has a couple of noise projects and shit. I just can't remember the name of them off the top of my head.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about The Body too, because like they're good. That's a funny comparison because it's like them if they didn't have the vocals.
Yeah, the shrieking vocals.
Yeah, because like Ethan's vocals are like HP Lovecraftian demon fucking
yeah.
Like The Body is like the opposite, where it's like these angels that became demons that are like screaming down on you. That's like
yeah.
Like it's very horrific in a different way.
Yeah, it's a challenging listen.
Mm-hmm.
I like that shit. I find it funny that I gravitate towards the stuff that most people find very difficult to listen to.
Yeah.
I like being challenged, I guess.
I think one of my favorite descriptions for grindcore and grindcore musicians is it's the worst music made on Earth by the most difficult people on Earth.
I've never heard that before.
It was said by someone it was a random comment made in a fucking grindcore group that I'm in.
Wow, holy crap.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that is like a beautiful description of this kind of music.
They're like, got me there.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking difficult.
Yeah, that's the worst part. That's the worst part when people make criticisms about your music, because you can just, yeah, you hit it you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, you got me. What about it? You want to fight about it?
That's why I don't really complain when people are like, well, show me your band if you can't describe it, and then I play it, and they're like, could you turn this off? Like, I get it. It's not for everyone. Like it's really. That's why it was so weird when people would like gravitate towards us live. Because I'm just so used to people being like, that was, I don't know, that pushed me away, but I kept pulling me back. Like they don't like the fact that they find it fascinating. Like gore pictures or something.
Yeah,
That's why it's very fitting for the name.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about whenever we'd play live is like we would never necessarily clear the room like most grindcore bands, but people would like stand 50 feet away from us, but they wouldn't ever like mosh or anything, but they wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Nobody would walk out. They would just stare in awe.
Yeah, but they would
Far away.
Very far away, as far as they could be.
Yeah, they only backed away because of that show where you were swinging around a fucking belt, literally scaring people. It's an all-ages show. They're children. They're swinging around a belt, but they didn't leave. They were so captivated that they couldn't bring themselves to not watch us fucking do a balancing act on our guitars and fucking swinging belts and pushing pedals and having all these crazy sounds happen, and then just like stop on a dime, like as if we knew what we were doing the whole time.
Yeah, like even though we're writing songs, I still definitely want to keep that almost danger music-esque element to our live shows. Mm-hmm. Like I always love that element about noise music where it's borderline almost a performance art. Like playing your live show is like, if people want to listen to the songs fucking structured all the way through with no mistakes, they can hear the studio version.
People want to be entertained.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. Is I always want
an experience.
I always want the live show to I want someone to come home and tell them, yo, these guys dressed up in Chewbacca outfits set the Chewbacca outfits on fire, dude. What the fuck? Some stupid shit. You know what I mean? This dude. They were all dressed really weird like bums, and this guy took a belt and started swinging it everywhere, smacking himself on the back. Like it's. I don't know. I don't think the self-mutilation thing is cool, but I think the whole doing unique shit live is very entertaining. I don't like the stuff where it's just you got to go and listen to it. Like I could go there. Completely turn the fuck around, get the complete same experience. Never have to look at the band.
Yeah.
Might as well just play it on the speaker.
Yeah.
Put it on the fucking the stereo. Like I want there to be a visual aspect.
Yeah, people don't talk during our set.
No, you can hear a fucking pin drop.
Yeah, well, no, you can't hear a pin drop because we're playing so fucking loud.
Yeah, you can hear like the sound of my amp hitting like the reverb off the sound of the reverb of like hitting off the wall.
Yeah, off of the room.
Because of how quiet everyone is while we're playing.
So, do you think you guys are leading the charge for bringing theatricality back into extreme music?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I sure hope so. That's our goal. That's my goal, at least.
Yeah, we are definitely a very theatrical band.
Like I always want to. Eventually, we'll get like a projector.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then like get a bunch of crazy stuff projected on top of us while we're doing a bunch of weird stuff. Yeah. So there's always something going on.
Yeah, because me and Marcos, we've known each other since fucking middle school, and it's funny, even before we were just musician aligned, we fucking tried to be little like indie filmmakers in high school. So like we definitely like want to have such a visual aspect just because we understand like how to do visuals too.
Yeah. We need to do more like music videos.
Oh yeah.
Because we know how to shoot, we know how to fucking frame, we know how to edit, we know how to make things look nice.
Yeah.
So
for the most part, at least.
Were you the guys who did you do the Depravity video that you shot? That released?
We shot that 100% ourselves.
That was all us.
Yeah, we edited it, shot it ourselves.
That's really cool. Just because, I wasn't sure if you had hired someone to do that or if it was just like all yourself. But
no, I think we've yet to hire anybody to do anything for us.
I think the only hiring we did is one of our little EPs, Go Outside, Get Shot. We hired our good friend Voiddweller. Shout out to Voiddweller to mix it.
Mm-hmm. What about
did he do that?
The artwork for
Oh yeah. Also, one of our most recent EP, they chose Loneliness over You. My good friend, actually locally, good friend Tyler that I used to work with. They painted the artwork for that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've collaborated a couple times, but it was very selective. We're probably gonna have Trevor mix a lot more for us too in the future, just to help out. Just because we have we have so many fucking releases in the backwards, and it's like if we're gonna try mix it ourselves, we're not gonna have any music out till 2024.
Yeah, Voiddweller, he does like all of their shit themselves, and it's like it sounds really good.
Yeah, Voiddweller is another huge inspiration to us.
Mm-hmm.
Very instrumental in our just formation too, because they've given us a lot of tips too on recording.
Yeah,
A lot of shit.
yeah.
Are you guys pretty close together? Like in terms of like
Yeah, even
band
though they're
relationship?
long distance, we are pretty close with them. Like we'll be collaborating with them a lot in the future. I'll say that much.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's very exciting.
Hell yeah.
Because I heard the song that Voiddweller remixed, I think it was.
Yeah, the remix they did of us.
That went pretty hard.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was really good. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say. So, do we have any other like collaborations that you might want to let everybody know about coming out?
We have collaborations, but don't want to spoil any of the really good ones.
Yeah, I want to keep most of it under the works for the most part.
Okay.
Do you think we should announce at least the name of the album?
Which one?
The main full length one that's going to drop?
On Dobro?
No, just the
Oh,
main album.
Sure.
yeah. Okay, I guess you could say at least the name.
Yeah, it's going to be the Money Machine Store or the Metal Money Machine Store. I like thinking of our works just being obnoxious with like multiple names and shit. Because
Release the money.
originally we were going to do the Money Machine Store, but we're referencing so many other albums. That's going to be the Metal Money Machine Store.
Mm-hmm. No, I was actually thinking that was a nice Death Grips homage.
It is.
It's a Death Grips 100 Gex and Lou fucking Reed.
Yeah, it's a homage to a lot of shit at once because it's like the purpose of it is just to kind of sound like just like basically like a fucking weird music culture smoothie of
Yeah,
just like
a Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
Another Frankenstein album.
yeah, where it's just taking so many random influences and just putting them all together. Because one of the things that an odd band to shout out as a huge inspiration to me is this random band that was a huge one-hit wonder in the 90s called the New Radicals. Because not a whole lot of people know, but the main singer of that band, he ended up being just a ghostwriter for other bands. And one of the things he talked about in the 90s is monogenreism, where he predicted that basically by now, all pop music is just going to be so fucking just homogenic that is like, you can't even really describe it as anything other than pop because it just takes from so many other cultures that there's no other way to even define it. And that's kind of the way I kind of approached the writing on this album, where it's just like, I'm just going to take a little bit of everything that I like and fucking just be like,
Yeah,
all right, here we go.
Even the tones for the instruments.
Yeah.
it's like a culture collage.
Yeah.
where we just take from all different forms of imagery and soundscapes and ideas and just kind of amalgamate them into a.
I'm trying to do like what I did on the Anglican album,
Mm-hmm.
where when I recorded my part, I used a different pedal for each song,
Yeah.
a different signal chain each time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm trying to do that for the bass on this release, so it has like this like sort of almost schizophrenic aspect to it, where each song almost sounds like from a different release.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
It's
still
like,
has like it's all mixed and mastered together, so it is that same album.
yeah. Very inspired by just like making things sound out of order and wrong and broken on purpose.
Yeah, a lot of broken tones, a lot of shit log waveforms. This DI tone sounds good together, but when I listen to it, it sounds like a single frequency.
Sine wave? Pink noise? Brown noise?
Brown noise. The brown tone.
Brown tone.
Well, you know what they say: if you're not redlining, you're not headlining.
Nah.
So are we going to be I guess, delving into any more 90s influences. I mean, there's some stuff that you've hinted at with regards to some of the promotional stuff that I've seen. Are we going to be hinting at a lot more of that like 90s influence on this new record?
Yeah, like it's gonna be very on purpose too, because one of the taglines on the album art is gonna be, "This album has nothing original to say," just as like one trying to basically like make this seem like less like, oh, we're new music, we're modern. It's more like, I want this album to fit on a timeline from the 90s to here to now, and just being like, yeah, guys, everything that was wrong then, it still fucking sucks now. Like, and if anything, it's just fucking worse.
It's like retro futurism.
Yeah, honestly,
That's
like very intentionally so.
It's such an interesting concept,
Yeah,
especially
because like
to have it be so influenced from the 90s, because I was a little, I was growing up sort of during, after Kurt Cobain had killed himself. So to me, it's kind of like to think of that as retro is just so alien to me in a way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like whenever I listen to like some of my favorite bands from that era, like Cherubs, fucking Jesus Lizard, Scratch Acid, one of the things that always stands out to me, also Butthole Surfers is another huge one. I think Butthole Surfers of all them all is probably the one I like take the most personal influence from.
Oh,
but one of the things I love that stands out to me is it just sounds like the 50s music that they probably grew up fucking hating, that they're just fucking rehashing into stupid ways and making fun of and doing pastiches of. So that's kind of obviously one of the things that inspires me, is that weird post-ironic fucking aspect about that shit. And that's kind of another thing that we're really doing, is that kind of post-irony now, is just making fun of the shit that we grew up on and shit, It's a very, like, almost comical kind of approach.
Yeah.
I think, pushing boundaries against what you grew up with is something that you can kind of like hear in what you guys are putting out in a way.
Yeah, it's very, I like the way that, I think it was you that might have said it in a comment, but it's very intentionally deconstructionist, where it's like, we have no intention to make any steps forward. We just want to fucking examine what's gone on in the past and see what we can move forward with, even. Yeah.
I mean, it's a very, I don't know anything about philosophy, but it sounds like what postmodernism would be if I understood what it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, one of the things I always wanted to reference is like Dadaism. I always wanted to make a fucking Headgore meme where it's like fucking the little guy fucking pushing over a domino and it says Dadaism, and then eventually at the top it's Headgore. Because like I feel like honestly, even though we're a music group, I am honestly more inspired by like art movements, and like
things.
Lynch movies and shit like that. Like way more fucking like movies and just art in general, as opposed to even just music and sound.
I think the next album will. I think for me it represents like a future where we have all this technology that we're gaining that dominates our life, but it's all broken. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In some ways, it definitely has. How do I put this without sounding like a boomer? Kids today with their smartphones. No, but it's kind of like we have things like Twitter and Facebook, which in some ways brings people together, but in other ways can be really, really divisive.
Oh yeah, the internet in and of itself is a fucking Pandora's box.
Yeah, I always tell people every day that it's like, unless you're trying to sell something and be like a business person and just trying to push a product, like social media is just not fucking good for you. Yeah. Like, it's funny that I want to send this album and put it out mainly probably for Big Money Cybergrind, because it's almost like, in concept, it's almost like an anti-industrial album. Like I'm gonna sample a lot of forests and like field recordings and stuff, just to be about like how the bring down of like technology and how it just kind of like accelerates a lot of what's really bad in people and shit.
Is there any one particular, linchpin that you'd like to hook that one onto?
What do you mean?
In terms of, let's bring out some of the negative aspects of our personalities. Or, yeah.
I think just one of the biggest aspects that I think that the album is really going to focus on, particularly that gets enabled a lot by social media, is just pure ego. Because, like, Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff has a really good way of making people just feel very, like, important without having to do much at all. And it's not to say that they're not important. It's just, like, it gives people, like, artificial value, and I hate to see it.
Yeah, because, like, the algorithm, like, favors towards selfies.
Yeah.
Like, if you take a selfie, it'll push it more than if you try to push, like, a poster for a show.
Yeah.
So, it's like, it lends itself to being more beneficial if you're more vain with it, if you use it in a certain way.
And again, it's, like, not even to say anything wrong on the people, because it's the intention of the app.
Yeah.
Like, you can't demonize a fucking, a group of people for doing something when they were targeted to have that done to them, And that's the worst part about that kind of shit. Like, I also talk about, like, the fact that, like, you can't, if you're not on social media to sell something, like, you're in a dangerous place, because, like, literally Instagram made this fucking other update the other day, and it's just a pure example of predatory capitalism, where the down button used to be to add a post.
Mm-hmm.
They made an upgrade to now when you push the down button, it fucking links you to the marketplace.
Yeah, to the shop.
Now Instagram sells shit.
Yeah.
Even though Instagram was just a little, low-key social app where you posted your pictures of your food and shit. No, now Instagram sells shit. And it's just like shit like that just makes me so fucking bitter and depressed,
I mean, like, is it good shit, though?
No, it's fucking Wish crap. It's fucking Wish selling
garbage.
you fucking,
Those shirts that are way overpriced.
Fucking Redbubble shirts that I just feel like sandpaper on your skin, and it's just like a fucking PNG of ham.
Yeah. That's
PNG of ham.
That's one of the things that has just really rubbed me the wrong way with a lot of people doing creative stuff online. It all just comes back to buying a shirt.
Yeah.
Merch bands.
Merch bands.
Speaking of which, do you guys want to plug your new merch line?
No, we don't have any merch yet. Not yet.
Merch
Sorry,
line.
we make music.
Yeah. Not to say that anyone selling merch is bad, because, like, I think the biggest thing what we were trying to make a point about is there's just a huge line between it. It's like, sell your shit to make your money and pay your rent, obviously, but it's like, if you're going to sit there and be, like, bragging about being, like, all this anti-commercialism, and then you have, like, lines, like, actual, like, lines of, like, 20, 30 different designs and shit, it's just like...
At this point, you're a fucking t-shirt company.
And you know what?
Yeah.
If that's your priority, fuck it. Just say it. It's like, I don't care if you want to be a t-shirt line and a band, but don't sit there and be like, oh, we're against the grain band, but,
Help us try to make a couple of bucks, but, like, that's all you're doing is just every other month. Hey, I got a different shirt design.
Yeah.
I got a different shirt design.
Yeah.
Oh, the album? I got a different shirt, though.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to, like, have us go down as the you can't sell shit band. Mm-hmm. It's just, there's just so many, it's such a case by case thing. And there's just, obviously, there's some extreme examples of bands that are just doing it exceptionally wrong.
I mean, I think after a while we'd be down to, like, do merch shit.
Yeah. Like, I think for the album, we have some ideas for some joke anti-merch, basically. We'll be merching on our own way at some point, but it's never going to be about selling shit.
Yeah, it's not really a priority. If anything, we're trying to sell the fucking tapes.
Yeah, I want to sell more tapes and shirts at some point.
Yeah, I mean...
Listen to the fucking music, and then you'll remember us. Because you're like, that music was good. And then when we finally eventually do come out with, like, a shirt or two, you'll want to buy it instead of just being like, hey, we came out with one EP. 3 years later, we're still selling shirts.
I think the golden rule should be is if drop some songs and then drop your merch.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, at the very least, have some more songs than you do merch designs. If you're gonna do that at the beginning.
Don't promote it like Code Orange.
Yeah, number one, don't promote like Code Orange.
Oh, do they have a new shirt? I gotta go.
No, they have a lot of new shirts.
They got a bunch of weird shit. They got a plastic mask.
Don't even get me started on the fucking urethane fucking 2-cent mask that they're charging $40
Makes you
for.
look like fucking Patrick Bateman at the end of fucking American Psycho.
Some straight creepo shit.
Yeah.
But you gotta respect the hustle, I guess. You know.
Yeah.
They won the damn Grammys. They need to hustle fucking plastic masks. They keep talking about the fucking fact that they won a Grammy, but I'm not getting into it.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're gonna slag off Code Orange for the next 20 minutes now.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Flocky slush.
Walkie slide.
I don't actually pay attention to Code Orange too much. I last I heard they were up for a Grammy, and then I was like, okay.
Didn't they win?
No, they didn't. They lost.
Who won?
I think it was Body Count.
Body Count.
Yeah, random, right?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Body Count's back, guys.
Yeah, Body Count's lit.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not saying that they're bad. I just find it.
Yeah, I didn't know they had new material.
Yeah, I thought it was a retroactive. Like, hey, remember Cop Killer? That was badass.
I mean, that would be pretty funny if they were still like, if that was the only thing that they had been doing. But no, they've actually dropped like quite a few albums since the 90s.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, they were on I want to say like Sumerian Records as well.
Yeah, that's right. They are.
Yeah, it's just like what a weird.
What is going on with Sumerian?
Yeah, most of the metal labels that we grew up on are just kind of fucking shit in the bed right now. Notice that, like, look into fucking Epitaph's fucking roster. That's one of the things that's funny is Epitaph accepts demos, and I'm almost like tempted to throw it their way because they seem fucking desperate. They're just like signing like SoundCloud rappers in 2020 and shit. Like they are on some funky shit. Like most of the record label, other than like Relapse, Century Media. And no, those are the only ones I really pay attention to. Those ones are the ones that actually are like kind of giving a shit to suss out like good recent bands.
Skingraft is a really good label. I don't know if they're still doing stuff.
I think I'm not sure if Skingraft is still active.
I want to say
Records.
maybe
Hex Records was the one who sold me the USA Nails CDs.
Oh, yeah.
Hex
Yeah.
Records sells some other band that I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Hex has a lot of quality stuff going on with their website, with their Bandcamp page. What do we got for Skingraft? Apparently they are releasing new stuff.
Oh,
I just know that they had a bunch of really. I think they Child Abuse was on there.
the math rock band Child Abuse, because I learned the other day there's a shitty fucking noise grinding band called Child Abuse that's like Anal Cunt 2.
Well,
Oh yeah.
Child Abuse is kind of noise rock. It's super hard to distinguish the two
Yeah.
when you describe it.
Yeah.
If you hear it, you know which Child Abuse is which.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was posting about that band, and they're like, this band, and they posted this fucking image, and I was like, no, you fucker, get away from me.
Jesus,
Like, back up. Both hands out.
full stop.
Yeah.
I honestly had no idea there was more than one band called Child Abuse, but shouldn't be surprised there.
Yeah.
Age Wolf, Airborne Radar,
Mm-hmm.
Child Abuse, Doomsday Student, Flying Lutenbachers, dude,
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
There's a lot of good bands on that label.
Melt Banana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
31G is actually moving away from a lot of like the skronky hardcore that I've heard from that they were putting out before.
They're still active?
Oh yeah.
They're in like noise. They're doing noise. They're like noise too now.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're pretty good.
Yeah, they usually put out stuff that's pretty high quality, but the most recent band that they were promoting was some kind of like not post-rock, post-punk band. There we go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very, very. It was. I only gave it a quick cursory listen, but it was pretty in the vein of like, Joy Division, that sort of stuff. So done pretty well, but something that I'm not 100% tuned into. But yeah, you guys should send in a tape to Epitaph if they are in fact that desperate.
Yeah, that was the thing that was funny. Is like I almost want to send it jokingly just to see if they fucking even respond.
Well, they have to.
They have to at least say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an automated email response.
No.
Thank you for your submission, but
No.
don't send us a submission again.
You're now post-block.
You are now banned from fucking Epitaph Records.
You are also 86th from all Epitaph Records related events.
Oh, Jesus.
And you know what? Don't even buy any. We don't want your money.
You can't even send us money now.
Your money's not even good with us anymore.
Return all of the merch you bought from us.
I've been doing that same sort of thing to Sub Pop for years now, just sending them songs from my SoundCloud. They've got an open demo policy. I just thought it was funny. It's like, hey,
Sub Pop.
Do they?
oh yeah,
Fuck.
I thought last time I
Fuck
checked.
it.
That would be the perfect actually label for the Metal Money Machines.
Last time I checked, they said that they weren't. Let me check again. That's
I'm
insane.
fucking mad. I'm just gonna raise them.
Thematically at least, that would be perfect.
Yeah, that is kind of just up the straight ante. Because that's the thing is this. It's such a weird. We can only fucking probably succeed on a weird label like that.
Yeah.
just I think there is a place. I just wish I had a good advice on who to pitch it to.
Yeah.
Because I was based on what I've heard, it's a little it's tough to say who. Maybe Sub Pop. But yeah, I guess, do you guys have anything else you want to any other shout outs you want to get out of the way?
I did a remix for a Thought Crime song under my solo project Skin Jockey. If you go on the Thought Crime Bandcamp and you look up the remix for the album on your computer, there's a whole remix album for that. And I'm like the second to last song. There's a lot of damn artists on there that are really good. Corporate Canine's on there. I think Shut Up Trinity was one of them.
Yeah, I think you should definitely do one of the releases.
I think Yamlin, of course. Voiddweller, they did one. That was really good. So yeah, that's something that I would want to shout out is listen to that. Listen to Thought Crime.
Yeah, listen to Thought Crime definitely for sure. But shout out Alien Heart Records. That's one of the main people from Thought Crime's record label. Been on one of their comps before, but they do a lot of fucking solid releases that are just multi-genre, not very particular to anything.
Yeah,
But a lot of solid releases just featuring cool LGBT artists and shit.
They got some really good stuff so far. The albums that they have put out.
That's the only little things I could really think of to shout out.
All right.
Bands.
Shout out to fucking shout out to Shit Noise Bastards, deaf to all politicians from Malaysia. One of our very, very, very early influences and still a huge friend of ours to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Emma Hasri has been one of my longtime online friends for a minute. Shout out to fucking Shamehole and Claire and Kelsey. I think they have a label too called Laura Girls. I think they actually put out the Thought Crime album on for their tape release. So definitely shout out to that label and Shamehole and Nika Daruma. Huge inspirations.
Shout out to Worm Hero.
Yeah.
They make some very intense out there like alienish music that I think is very interesting. I get the vibe that they're very influenced by like Mike Patton, which I originally really didn't care for, but they turned me on to this album. I can't fucking remember what it was.
Tomahawk.
Yeah, well, they turned me on to one of the albums that Mike Patton did for like some movie, and it was really fucking good.
Was that the Crank soundtrack?
Crank? No. But Yeah, they make some very good music. That's very like kind of Mike Patton ish. Phantomas. Yeah, that stuff was very interesting.
All right. Well, yeah, I would like to thank you all. Unless you guys have anything else that you want to get off your chest, I'm here to listen.
No, it's pretty satisfying.
All right.
Google Headgore. Don't go on Bandcamp.
Yeah, Google Headgore.
Don't worry. I'll throw a Google search link in the description.
Throw a "Let me Google that for you" link.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Passive aggressive.
But I would like to thank you all for coming on today. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to
Thank you for giving us our first interview.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm sure it won't be the last time I talk to you.
No, probably not.
No.
Welcome you after this.
But
It's unreported.
I'd like to thank you all for joining me today. This has been Headgore on No Format.